Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Now, today I'm giving you guys another Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 discussion, and I'm joined with...
Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today.
You're gonna confuse some people, you sound a little bit off, but that's okay. It's Qaaman's Land. We're gonna be talking about Xenoverse 2. Very excited for this game. It's looking very promising. We're gonna be talking about all the little transformations. And there's definitely one point of contention here that we're going to talk about with the humans. Obviously, a big discussion in the whole gaming community for this, the whole Dragon Ball gaming community. And Quinn, we have every race of the transformation now. Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 for the Saiyans. The Namekians actually have a giant form, which is very impressive to see that brought into this game, especially because it is considered a fighting game. Golden forms for the Frieza clan, which increases their speed, it appears. We don't have confirmation on that, but from what we can analyze, it actually increases their speed a lot. Majins have a pure form, which is basically just Kid Buu. And last but not least, well, maybe least for some people, the humans get to ride a Nimbus Cloud and get a Power Pole. We're not sure if there's anything else. Maybe you can use whatever weapon you want on that, or if it is just the Nimbus Cloud and a Power Pole. But we're going to talk about that one last because I think that's the biggest discussion right here. But, obviously there's not much to say. It's amazing we get Super Saiyan 3. I think, Quinn, it's pretty surprising we get to see things like... Super Saiyan 3 is something I thought was going to happen. But It's pretty impressive to see Golden Form, Kid Buu form, or Pure Majin. And the most impressive one here, hands down, has got to be Giant Namekians. And what are your thoughts on all that?
Well, the whole giant Namekians thing to me, Josh, I thought that was actually something that I wasn't expecting them to do. Now
nobody expected, because it's a fighting game. At its core, it is fighting mechanics.
Right.
So, very confusing.
And the thing is that I've always been a believer that being big, obviously, you get a lot stronger, but you're going to sacrifice a lot of speed. But what I find interesting about that, though, Josh, is that they're bringing back the whole thing that Piccolo Jr. did in his fight against Goku in Dragon Ball. They're also doing what Lord Slug did. So Nameks becoming big is not a new thing. But the interesting thing is, the fact that it's a transformation makes it more interesting, because what I thought, Josh, I thought they were going to have some type of system where Nameks would try to fuse with each other, and that's how they would pretty much power up. I was not expecting them to turn big, so I definitely love that new thing they're adding.
People also thought that there was going to be the unlocked potential form for humans and Namekians, but that's just too simple. Yeah. Obviously, the Frieza clan having the golden form was pretty impressive to see. It's a color swap, but it's also that's just that one thing we needed, right? And it's the most powerful. I guess if you want to go by the way the story progresses, it would be the strongest transformation out of all the ones in the game. But it looks like it probably just does a speed boost. It seems like for the Saiyans, it increases your strength and powers, and the Frieza clan, it's a big speed boost. We don't know if it does other stuff because we don't have the details, but just from what we can analyze visually. They moved a lot faster when they went golden. And the Kid Buu stuff, the Pure Majin, not sure exactly what that does. They definitely had some new combos going in there, so that's another thing that makes that more of a unique transformation. See, the Golden Form and the Super Saiyan are kind of very similar because they don't add anything besides boost and stats,
right,
is what I'm gathering at least, because I don't really know. It's just what we can analyze thus far. The Namekian stuff, looks like it's completely changing the character. Absolutely changes them. In the trailer, the most recent trailer, we see that the Namekian character actually grabs Goku and starts squeezing him, which I don't know if they're going to have regular punches. And, Quinn, imagine just doing parallel quests with a giant Namek and fighting against great apes.
Right.
That's, are they going to have just some new combat system for those two specific characters fighting against each other?
That'd be fun.
What? Because that'd be interesting to see them grapple or something. Because you're not going to grab the great ape's tail as a Namekian. Their only other choice would be to punch him. And can they do energy attacks as giants?
Well,
I don't know.
Probably, but really slow. But my question to you, though, Josh, as we've talked off the air about drawbacks, is there anything that we could predict or speculate or even discuss about what potential drawbacks, besides obviously significantly reduced speed being a huge Namek would be?
They looked very slow, very, very slow, but they're going to have wide range. The hitbox they're going to have in terms of where they can grab you from is going to be very large, I imagine.
And a lot of defense, I'm guessing, too.
I'm going to assume they're going to have... I'm very curious how the blocking works. They probably don't stagger whatsoever. Honestly. It's probably very... I actually bet you this. I'm going to put my thoughts into this. I'm betting you it's going to be very similar to how the Great Ape's stamina works, where you can knock it down, very, very slowly by punching them. But if they're in the middle of a punch, or you grab their tail, which obviously Nameks don't have tails, so they're not going to do that. But if you hit the Great Apes in the middle of a punch, it drains their stamina heavily. So I think that's going to be maybe one of the ways they'll work right, because they're not going to have stagger, I feel like, for the giant Nameks. But obviously there's a speed disadvantage. There's going to be. It's just what we saw visually from the trailer. In terms of Super Saiyan, there aren't a whole lot of drawbacks. The only real drawback at the moment that we can see is that it doesn't drain your stamina over time. Although Goku does have a Z-Soul that does drain his ki, I should say, not stamina. But when you are punching people as a Super Saiyan, it does not give you ki back. You have to ki charge. But this is stuff people know. We don't know what Frieza Race, the Golden Form drawbacks are. We really don't. It might actually drain ki. I have no clue on that. Same thing with Majins. Don't know. Now, I actually can't see many drawbacks to the Majin one. It just looks like they make them faster and have different combos. So for the humans, Power Pole and a Nimbus Cloud. This is something a lot of people have been very, very like, oh, this is so disappointing. The thing is like, for the Saiyans, they're getting powered up. That's what Super Saiyan does. Frieza Race. Frieza Clan's always been the fast race in Xenoverse, and their transformation just amplifies that boost. It makes the best part of the Frieza Clan even better. Here with the humans, they were really melee focused for a lot of people, and this looks like it's changing the melee combos up completely. Probably makes them move even faster on the Nimbus Cloud. I don't see why else they would give them a Nimbus Cloud, in my opinion. And it's really tapping into the strengths of that race, and I think if you're a melee fighter, that will be the very best race to play as, in my opinion. Quinn, I know that you off the air had different thoughts than me about the human race. What do you think about that overall? Just share your thoughts.
Well, before I knew anything about what happened, I was thinking that humans would have a very weird transformation because they don't really have a transformation. Like, Nameks could at least fuse and get bigger. Saiyans could obviously go Super Saiyan. Frieza's race could obviously transform. Majin Buu's race could obviously transform. So it was very easy to write something in for the other races. But for humans, I was thinking that at the absolute most they'd have like unlocked potential. And then when I heard that they're going to get
people
a
thought they'd have
Nimbus
a buff form like Roshi as well, which I didn't expect. And I mean, but the thing is, not to cut you off, Quinn, I mean, those would be way too simple. Like, they're at least giving humans something very, very, very unique to set them apart from everything else. Because if they just had unlocked potential, well, they wouldn't be very different from the Saiyans, would they?
Right.
At all.
But the thing is what I think makes the humans unique is that the power pole is nice because it could probably add like another dimension of fighting, but I just don't understand the Nimbus Cloud. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you can already fly, because every Xenoverse character knows how to fly, I don't see the purpose of it. But that's as of right now. Obviously, that can change.
And it could just, it could be a visual thing. It could be maybe it gives you more speed. I believe Dino, Rhymestyle was talking about this, and I think he talked about, maybe it's not just a power pole. Maybe you get to use your, weapons that you could have on your back, like the sword or something. I don't think that's probably what's going to happen. It could. There'd be a lot of different balancing issues even with that, and maybe even the Nimbus Cloud. It could be whatever, because there's hoverboards in the game you can get to ride around the hub world, Kanton City. Maybe the Nimbus Cloud could be whatever your hoverboard is, like Tao Pai Pai's stick or whatever. Realistic, it's probably just going to be the Nimbus Cloud and the Power Pole, but you're going to have so much range, so much power behind the combos and stuff, and they're going to be very fast. It's going to be very dangerous to fight someone like that if they're a very good combo fighter. So I think people just need to look at that and understand there's not a whole lot I think that could have been done with the humans, and I think that's probably one of the coolest things they could have done with the transformations, honestly. I'm not sure what kind of drawbacks it'll have, or what kind of drainage. Maybe it'll do like some sort of ki or stamina drain. I don't know. I think they're really staying away from the stamina and ki drain for the power-ups, but whatever it is, I think they've learned a lot from the first game, and they're going to keep it balanced overall, and the game's really shaping up to be something special, honestly. It really is. Quinn, do you have any final thoughts? I think we covered up everything. We don't have a whole lot of information about all this stuff yet, so we're still waiting for things to trickle down the pipeline. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just kind of interested to see what they're going to do with this whole remastered Super Saiyan system, Josh, because...
It's very similar to Budokai. It's very similar to Budokai. The only difference is here, when you attack enemies, you just do not gain ki. You have to ki charge. You can power down to your base form, but it's very Budokai-esque. It does not give you infinite ultimates and super spam, so don't worry about any of that. And, you know, screw all the people that said I was bitching about spamming, because they even said it's a problem. Spamming was a problem in Xenoverse. Anyone says otherwise is honestly, in my opinion, completely wrong, but that's irrelevant to this conversation.
Right, and just to add some more, like, I was always feeling that one of the reasons why I really like playing Xenoverse, and we both agree with this, Josh, is because we like to play with the non-custom characters, and I think if they could balance the system out more where everybody doesn't play as a small female human, if I remember correctly, and just stack everything in one statistic, I think
if you
that
have it all
really
stacked in the melee and health, then you're fine.
Yeah. That was the only real problem, and I really hope they balance out the game to make the custom character system more
And they
playable.
definitely are. You know, this has had more development time than most Dragon Ball game sequels. Obviously, a lot of that is because it has to have that original story. Dimps is an extremely talented developer. They've made so many different types of games over the years, and they're very familiar with the fighting game franchises. They've worked on Street Fighter, obviously Budokai, Burst. They've done a ton of games. Xenoverse was a completely new type of gameplay style, and for a first attempt, it's still my favorite Dragon Ball game, and it was a really knockout job, and just all the things that are improving here, it's crazy, and I'm very excited to see down the road. Just the final thing I want fans to take away from this is honestly how the hell are they going to do Giant Nameks versus Great Apes in Parallel Quest. I really want to see how that is, because they can't just be punching at each other. That's too simple. Come on. That could be it, but I really want to see some grapples go on, but that's all I got to say. Quinn, anything else for you?
Yeah, all I'll just say as a joke is Lord Frieza always said slugs versus monkeys, right?
That's absolutely right. Well, hopefully everyone enjoyed this video. Quinn, why don't you take us out of this?
Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.
So, Quinn, what are we talking about?
It's your fucking video.
I know, but do you know what I said we're talking about?
Yeah, you're talking
ready
about,
to talk about it?
different transformations and my thoughts on
Okay, hold on. You saw them all, right?
Uh-huh. I know what to talk about, bro. I don't give a shit about appearance. Big Nameks humans.
Well, obviously not. Look at yourself in the mirror, bro. That's going to be a blooper. I might put it at the end. We'll see.
I'm gonna punch you in the face when I see you.
Quinn, you might break your hand, bro.